In this video, I'm going to be focusing on one particular component that happens when you have a good night's sleep, which is the glymphatic system. Now, all of us in our body, we know that there's a lymphatic system. This is a third channel. You have your arteries and then you have your veins. Your arteries take the blood from the heart and they send it to all the organs. Your veins are responsible for bringing the blood back from various parts of the body back to the heart. So these are channels that are there. There's a third group of channels called the lymphatic vessels, which are responsible for carrying the waste products. They are responsible for carrying some of the white blood cells and other immune cells, and they come back in this channel called the lymphatic system. Now, for a long time, we thought that the brain actually did not have any such system like that. However, we now understand that the brain indeed has a similar system for getting rid of waste and for having a housekeeper function, and that is called the glymphatic system. So a G in front of it, and so the brain's lymphatic system is a glymphatic system because it is being provided by the glial cells. Remember the housekeeper cells, the angel and assassin, or the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde cells that I talk about in the book. These are the same cells that act as an immune function, but they also act as the housekeepers. So how do they actually work? Imagine a football stadium that is being used to full capacity, 80,000 spectators, completely dirtying the place during the time the match has happened. And after the match is done, the unenviable task of cleaning up the stadium has been left to the janitors in the stadium there. Imagine that they're having to struggle going between these seats that are sacked like just very tight with very little space between the seats. And so this is the normal situation of how the neurons and the nerve cells are stacked up in the brain. But when you have a good night's sleep, what happens is that these neurons are able to almost reduce their size by up to 50 to 60%. So it's almost like the seats in the stadium shrink, leaving so much of aisle space in which you can really look at all the debris and the connections. And then the glial cells and the lymphatic system of the brain can go to work mopping up all the waste and nutrients of the day, doing an efficient cleanup job, making sure that unwanted nerve connections are broken down, and all of this materials is then taken away, carried away by the glymphatic system, and then put into the main veins of the body that get taken back to the heart. So this is how the glymphatic system works, and you can see how a good number of hours of sleep allows and gives the time for the brain to actually achieve this self-cleaning function. And that's how important sleep is, and the relationship of the functioning of the glymphatic system to a good quantity of sleep, which is 7 to 9 hours. Thank you.